Today I'm using my brushes panel and a couple of shapes that I created with the shape tool. Not going to tell you how I did that one. It's another tutorial, but it started out with an ellipse and I have just a basic ellipse here. I'm going to make some very simple brushes using the new brush feature in the little sandwich menu of the brushes panel. So to get started, I've got my brushes panel open. If for some reason you don't see it, you can always find it in Window menu. Brushes is checked because I have it open. If yours is not checked, you don't have it open, so select brushes from that menu. So once I've got those, I'm going to select my shape and click the sandwich menu so that it says New Brush. I'm going to choose Scatter Brush to make this work and click OK. I'm going to call this one Heart Scatter, and I can play around. I can change the size, reduce it slightly. I can make sure that they don't touch each other, keep it fixed or random. I can adjust the scatter, which I will set to random. Depending on what you're trying to do, sometimes it makes sense just to kind of play with these. And rotation, I'm going to set to random and set this slider down to -180 and this one all the way up to 80. So I can get full rotation. And then I'm going to click OK. So I can use any tool to make a line that I'm going to apply my new little heart scatter brush to. The first thing I need to do is deselect this, because if it's selected, the brush will apply the thing I just made to basically whatever is selected. Best to make a new line. I'm going to make sure that the stroke chip is in front. Grab my brush tool for this. Like I said, you can use any tool that allows you to make a line. So technically you could use a shape tool, you could use the pencil, you could use the pen. Today I'm using the brush. So I'm going to go back to my brushes panel. My heart scatter brush is selected and I'm just going to draw a line. So I've got a bunch of hearts. That's creating a scatter brush at its simplest. Now I'm going to make a new brush with the blue dot that I just made. So I'm going to follow the same set of sequence that I had done before. New brush, scatter, OK. I'm going to call this one blue dot because I can't think of a better thing to call it. I'm also going to set the size of this to random and play with the sliders a little bit. Set the spacing to random. Scatter I'm going to leave because it's not really going to do anything if I change it. It'll sort of spread it around. Okay, yeah, you're right. So yeah, let's change that just a little bit. And rotation, it's a circle. So rotation isn't really going to do anything. I'm going to ignore that for now. And click OK. So I'm going to deselect that, grab my brush tool again, make sure that this is selected, and make another line. So those are two very simple brushes there, made with very basic shapes. Basically any shape that I can create, I can turn into a scatter brush to make new and interesting effects, and depending on what parameters I choose for my brush, that will determine how it looks.